Mm-hmm. 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 Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip, and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is...
Hi, I'm TT.
I'm 30.
And I'm probably right.
Welcome to the Hoop Scoop. 3D, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to be talking about women's college basketball and the conference championships that recently happened. We had a huge blowout between UConn and Georgetown. UConn is led by Paige Buckers. We also had Texas defeat Iowa State by 17 points. Portland coming out with a close one against Gonzaga in the West Coast.
And that was a upset from Portland, unranked Portland beating the number 14 Gonzaga. So, what do we have next?
We're also going to talk about a couple of college basketball players and injuries.
This is Cam Brink. Give me some space, please. Thank you. I'm wondering, what is Haley wearing today? Let's hear it, babe.
So this is Cameron Brink and Haley Van Lith. Haley Van Lith recently transferred to LSU to be a part of their recent championship team and try to win one for herself with Angel Reese. Angel Reese was the leading NIL basketball player in all of college basketball. Then during the offseason, Caitlin Clark has since surpassed her, but she's currently going for another title with Haley Van Lith, Flau'jae, and Kim Mulkey. But Cameron Brink is currently ranked higher than her in every mock draft available. And some people are asking why, because they feel like Angel Reese is the better player. What do you think?
Well, I think she's ranked higher just because of her offensive prowess, and that's kind of been a knock on Angel Reese, that she's not there offensively. But I think it's only a little bit. If you look at the numbers doesn't say so. But I think what specifically they're talking about is the outside shooting. The last game, the one that they lost to USC, she had. She made 3 of 5 3-pointers, I think. So I think that's probably where they're talking about. But if you're looking at just numbers in her stats, 23 stats, Angel Reese is leading that chart in points and rebounds. I think it's like 19-13, and Brinks is like 12 rebounds and 17 points. So I think it's really the outside shooting. But I think that you can, if I were choosing, I'd go with Reese because you can teach shooting. Like, she can get better with the shooting. She just needs to put up more of it. But to me, she's more athletic. Brinks is a little bit taller, and she has a stronger body. I think Brinks will probably have to put on some size just to bang with people in the middle. And then she has heart. Like, to me, she's my Draymond Green. Like, I feel like she can really push a team that's like close. She can really push them to get that win. So she would be my pick, but I can understand why they would choose her because of the outside shooting.
With that part. Okay, I'm going to agree with you on that. I think a lot of teams are looking for someone with that height to be able to really get in there and get those offensive rebounds and put those back up. I also agree with you that Cameron Brink is a bit on the slim side, so she's probably is going to need to bulk up a little bit, else she may get pushed around a little bit in the WNBA.
I agree that Cameron Brink does need to pick up a little weight, and I also believe that Angel Reese is a much better athlete. She's stronger, she's quicker. My only concern with Angel Reese is her play style. I don't know that, I've said this before, I don't know that she'll be able to use that same play style against some of the bigger fives in the WNBA. With Cameron Brink, she kind of doesn't have that problem because, like you said, a lot of her skill comes from her outside shooting on the offensive end and drawing fouls, and as she can hit it from the free throw line. And on the defensive end, because of her extremely long wingspan and height, she's able to get a lot of blocks. She's currently leading all of college basketball for women's in blocks, and I think that's a lot of what is going to help her be successful on the next level.
Okay, and what are we talking about next?
We're going to be talking about a couple more college basketball players and Juju Watkins and Hannah Hidalgo. I was incorrect last episode. I mentioned that Hannah Hidalgo would be going to the WNBA. Now, she probably will be going to the WNBA eventually, but she's currently a freshman. And there's just been a lot of talent coming into the women's college basketball game this year. You know, we have a lot of historically great upperclassmen and girls like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And now we've got Juju Watkins and Hannah Hidalgo coming in and really making an impact on the women's college basketball game in their first year.
And some other freshmen that we've been hearing a lot about lately is going to be Michaela Williams from LSU and Malaysia Fulwiley from South Carolina. Another freshman that I think we should keep our eyes out on that doesn't get talked about very much is Madison Booker from Texas. So one of the Texas Longhorns, she's coming in contributing about 17 points per game for the Texas Longhorns. And I think she's someone we need to keep our eyes out for.
Oh, yeah, that's very good. So that means women's college basketball is going to remain exciting at least for another 2 years until we get another proper girls in. But yeah, very exciting.
Agree.
I think that'll have a lasting effect. Also, I just wanted to talk about Michaela Williams and Malaysia Fulwiley for a second. Malaysia Fulwiley is the first freshman to become the SEC player of the championship. She recently dropped 25 points in their conference championship when they were able to defeat LSU. And she's just been playing phenomenal all year off the bench. She's probably going to end up winning 6th Man of the Year in that conference. And Michaela Williams, she's been playing very well also. She broke the record this year for most points by a freshman in LSU history with a 40-point game.
Very good. I mean, we'd like to see that consistency going into next year from those girls. So we'll see how it translates into their sophomore years and see if they can keep the momentum going and the consistency going with those high scoring games.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been said quite a few times by quite a few pundits that the way Juju Watkins is playing and the number of points she's putting up, I mean, she's right on pace with Caitlin Clark, and if she continues, she can probably surpass her, but that remains to be seen. But definitely a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely.
I agree. She has a while to go to surpass her as a player, but she did recently surpass Caitlin Clark in most points scored by a freshman. She's moved up to 4th all-time on the list, and as long as USC can stay in March Madness, she has the potential to become the highest-scoring freshman in college basketball history. She's averaging 27 points per game right now, which is second of all women college basketball players, freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior.
I am hoping to see Juju go far in the March Madness playoffs. I really am.
Yeah.
I'd like to see her.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, the men's basketball team probably not going to go so far, so it'll be great to see the women's team go at least Final Four.
That'd be great.
I agree.
Okay, what's up next?
I want to talk about another freshman who probably won't be playing basketball at the college level next year. Rob Dillingham did win 6th Man of the Year for his conference this year, and he's just been showing out all year. This is another 30-point outing.
That's awesome. He is being coached by a great coach. I believe Kentucky was recently, as of last year, their coach was named the winningest coach in men's basketball. So Kentucky has a great program.
They do. Another player playing for Kentucky right now is Eddie Reed. Eddie Reed is also definitely going to be a lottery pick. He's currently shooting an outstanding 52% from the three-point line. That's not normal. That's not something we've seen really any player at his volume shoot from that deep out. And he can also finish at the rim, hit the mid-range. He's not a bad defender. He's got good size. And I expect him to do great things at the next level.
Absolutely.
So you're saying Kentucky will have possibly 3 players in the lottery?
Most likely we'll have 3 players in the lottery. It's possible DJ Wagner has fallen out of the lottery due to his play, but he quite frankly hasn't played bad. And his athleticism will definitely make sure that teams are going to view that potential as something that's going to be hard to pass up on.
Okay. Well, what do we have up next?
I'm sure you saw, just became the all-time scoring leader in women's college basketball. I'm curious, where would you rank her amongst all-time college players, in your opinion?
Ooh, that's tough because you got to win one. I feel like that college is one of those spaces where you got to win one for them to even have your name in the conversation. And it took me 3 years to win mine, so it's hard. But congratulations to her. I know my teammate KP was just like, yeah, that's huge. That's a lot of points, and that don't take that for granted. They were getting them up 100%. So congratulations to her. But I think she got to win her one to really kind of have her name in that. But I mean, she's always going to be a great player for Iowa and for the game as a whole. But yeah, winning one is pretty huge in college. So when she gets her one, if she gets her one, then y'all can have the conversation.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel like you, of all people, are the best person to ask this. She's going to be coming into the WNBA very soon. How well do you think her game is going to translate, and what would be your biggest piece of advice for her coming into the WNBA?
Yeah, I kind of said this on Complex one time. It was just a huge thing of, I think she's going to be good. I think she's going to be someone that's going to be huge for the franchise that she gets drafted to, and I just hope that franchise builds around her so she can continue to grow. And I hope the same fans that are writing for her now continue to help her and carry her and follow her into the W, because that's where the growth happens. Anyone can talk the talk now, but it's like, all right, next step. Are you still there? Are you still a true fan? But
That was Asia Wilson, the two-time MVP, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, and currently a back-to-back WNBA championship. Many consider her the best basketball player in the WNBA. And that was her talking about Caitlin Clark, who many consider to be the best player in college women's basketball. And she's excited to see Caitlin Clark come in. How do you feel about her saying that for Caitlin Clark to be considered one of the greats of college basketball, she needs to win a ring?
I mean, so you can't dispute it because, they play it. So that's kind of how they see it. But how the media see it and how the players see it, is two different things. I think as far as where she would be ranked in college basketball, she will always be a historically great figure in women's college basketball and college basketball on a whole, because she broke a ton of records, women and men's records. So she will definitely be mentioned. Like you couldn't mention college basketball and not mention her. So I think she'll be right up there. But you know how it is in the NBA, the WNBA is the same thing. Unless you win in the rings, you're gonna be Charles Barkley. So.
I agree that Joy means something.
And Shaq gonna be clowning you.
I would agree with that. I do think her name is going to remain as one of the greats in college basketball. So with ring or no ring, her name's going to be out there. Now, I do believe that when she comes into the WNBA, though, they're going to be coming after her. I think, because she's coming in at such a height, as a newbie coming in at that level, I do think, she's probably going to get played more aggressively. They're not going to let her come in and show them up. I just don't think they're going to let that happen.
It reminds me a lot of Lonzo Ball. A lot of people were very eager, at least on the basketball court, to try to kind of get one over on Lonzo Ball just because he was so highly regarded coming into the league. And a lot of players were like, hey, this young guy is not better than us. We've been playing professional basketball for 10 plus years. So they kind of took that as their challenge. And I kind of expect to see a lot of those WNBA vets kind of take the challenge of proving they're better than Caitlin Clark.
Well, I think, and she's going to run into another issue, right? So on her own team, if the team can get behind her and let her take, 17 3-pointers, 29, 30 points, I think that's where her numbers are going to dip. She's not going to have the same numbers in the WNBA that she has in college, because she's not going to be able to take that many shots. I mean, she was 5 for 17 on 3-pointers in the championship game. So I don't believe that she's just going to be able to take that many shots. So we'll see how the team plays it. But I'll tell you what, I watched her and it doesn't matter. She got that Steph Curry, like you can be right in her face and she can still, net that thing. So if she gets hot, ain't no stopping her. She's going to be her.
Right. And what are we talking about next?
Next up, we're going to be talking about Anthony Edwards. And he did a lot of phenomenal things throughout the game. He played great defense, and he's just been able to finish through traffic. They're often throwing double teams at him every time he catches the ball. But
He has been a little bit more aggressive lately. Ant-Man is always aggressive. He's always going to shoot the shot. He played great against the Pacers, but not so great against the Lakers when they played the Lakers and the Lakers got the win over them. But he always brings it.
He's playing great this year, so yeah, not much more to add.
His shoes still leave something to be desired, but yeah.
Well, he definitely didn't leave anything to be desired.
Yeah.
He had to do.
I do worry about him the same as I do with Ja. The way they play and how high flying they are, and then when they come down, So I do worry about that. But both exciting players to see. I always enjoy watching Ant-Man. So yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you could just see the energy there. Yeah. Like when he went for that block, I'm sure he didn't even realize how high he was, in the moment, right?
At 22 years old, he's currently about the same age that Michael Jordan was when he came into the league, and that's who he's most compared to is Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan was able to stay healthy with that play style for the entirety of his 13-year career. He never really, outside of his sophomore year when he broke his foot, he never really suffered with a lot of injuries, played over 75 games pretty much every season. And I think with the advance in medical equipment that Anthony Edwards may be able to stay healthy and become one of the all-time leading scorers in NBA history. He's already compared to LeBron as far as the fastest players to get to 1,000 points, 2,000 points, 3,000 points, coming as a one and done coming out of Georgia.
Are you saying he's the fastest after LeBron to get to 1,000 points?
I believe he is the fourth fastest after LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Kobe Bryant.
Okay. I'm gonna go back at what you said about his high flying style, him and Ja. I mean, Jordan was definitely high flying, but I don't think he was doing the things these dudes are doing. I'm just gonna have to call cap on that one. Like, I know we want to give Jordan everything, but Jordan wasn't getting up like these dudes is getting up. Jordan wasn't exacting that like power and ferocity that these dudes are doing. But yeah, like I said, I hope he can stay healthy. I hope medical can help him, but you see Ja's in and out. Like the dude is always hurt. It's just his play style.
I agree. I mean, the way he came down on that wrist, I was like, whoa, I'm surprised he didn't fracture it. Yeah. So, yeah.
But side note, wouldn't it be great to see Ant-Man, Ja Morant, and Zion in the dunk contest?
Yes, Zion recently said that he'd be in the dunk contest only if we vote him into the All-Star game.
I'm gonna be voting for Zion. I'm just gonna put it out there. How many times can you vote? Because I'm gonna be voting for him every day.
Vote every day.
Every day.
Okay, what's up next?
Next up, we're going to be talking about a guy who is not at the beginning of his NBA career, but he's actually coming to the end of it.
I applaud him for recognizing that he had nothing more to give. And like you said, not becoming, one of those guys that's being passed from team to team or cut and, searching for another team to play on. I can appreciate that he went ahead and
going overseas.
Right. Yeah.
There's one guy who most likely will not be passed around from team to team. Now, it's possible because you never know in the NBA. But Mark Cuban made statements that he actually would rather lose his wife than to lose Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is on a ridiculous triple-double streak. He has currently had the most 35-point triple-doubles in a row of all time with 5. And he's on his 7th triple-double in a row. This is him getting it done against the Chicago Bulls recently. And he not only is he leading the NBA in points, but he is literally one of the greatest passers to ever play in the NBA. He just sees everything on the court. It feels like he sees the entire court at all times.
I mean, for me, I find him great. I think he's a great person to watch, a great player. I'm actually doing a focus piece on Luka Doncic, his play in Europe and how he's come to the U.S. and really, continued that greatness. Giving up him over his wife is a bit much.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit much. And when it comes down to it, it's not really up to Cuban. It's really up to Luka. And the team that Cuban has been able to put around Luka, or the pieces that he's able to put around Luka, has not really translated into anything that, outside of being like, yeah, this is a good solid team. Luka's doing his thing. I don't know if he's he is a great passer, but I wouldn't, put him up all times. Not yet. I wouldn't do that. But I would say this: he is definitely on pace to be Mr. Triple Double, snatching that away from Russell Westbrook. But yeah, great player. I love to see him doing his thing. We'll see when the time comes what his plans would be. But he, even though he's a great player and he's had great players around him, somehow that don't translate into winning. And as great as a passer as he is, he dominates the ball. He is one of those players in the NBA that they dominate the ball the most. Like, he holds the ball the most. Like, if you look at the shots that he takes, even though he passes, he really just takes an ungodly amount of shots.
He does. I was watching the TNT guys, Shaq, Charles, and Kenny, talking about Luka Doncic, and if he will get an MVP, and they were kind of predicting that he will only get one MVP. I don't think I agree with that. I think he's going to get more than one. Yeah, they were kind of saying because of the team around him that his team's no good, therefore he's probably not going to win an MVP. But the thing I've noticed about Dallas is when they have players like that, like Dirk Nowitzki, right? They stay for the long haul. Like, that's usually their only team, and I can kind of see Luka doing that, just sticking with the Dallas Mavericks until he retires.
No, that was yesterday's European player. This is today's European player. We'll see what Luka does when that time comes. I think Luka is in today's player, everybody is trying to be that Jordan or that LeBron, to be up there. And then you're not going to be up there. You're not going to be mentioned if you're not winning rings. And I think it's going to take as good as Luka is, I do think Luka is probably going to have to change his style of play, because look at him and Kyrie. Like, they should be putting up ungodly numbers, right? It's either my turn, your turn, right? When he had Bronson, same thing, right? Didn't do anything with that. So I think it's probably gonna, as hard as it is to say, it's probably gonna take some shift in his play to really unlock what he really has.
Him and Brunson were able to make it to the Western Conference Finals together.
Did they go to the finals?
With the Western Conference Finals.
Are you sure?
They ended up losing to the Suns in the Western Conference Finals.
Western Conference Final. And who
They
did
went to the year before Jalen Brunson left. They went to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay, I'll go with that. Comments. Let me know if that's true, because I don't know. I don't remember it. So please help me out. Help me out. Let me know if that's true. Jump in those comments.
All right. What are we talking about next?
That's all I have for today. Do you have anything for me?
I don't have anything additional. I think probably right. You wanted to mention something outside of basketball, right? With the Tyson fight that's upcoming.
Oh, yes. And you are right. They went to the Western Conference Final in 2022. Wow, I don't know where I was for that, but yeah, let's see more of that. So the Mike Tyson,
I'm sorry. I also did make a mistake though. They lost to the Warriors, not the Suns.
The Warriors, yes.
They defeated the Suns, and then Luka smiled at Devin Booker, and people used it as a meme to call Luka Devin Booker's father. And they've been doing so since.
I'm glad you corrected that, because that comment section is coming for you.
That's kind of crazy, because it would have worked the other way around, because his name is Luka, so they could have been like, Luke, I'm your father. But it's kind of swap. But so back to what's next. Are you guys gonna watch the Mike Tyson Jake Paul? Are you guys up for that fight? And what do you think that's gonna be like?
So I don't think I'm gonna be able to avoid seeing it. I'm not planning on watching it or paying for it or watching it on TV, but it's gonna be hard to avoid seeing whoever wins that fight on the internet.
Well, who do you think's gonna come out on top?
I personally think that Mike Tyson is gonna win by knockout. When he punches, even now when I watch him punch a bag, I'm just like that looks way more dangerous than a bullet.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I do want to watch it, and I'm going to age myself here because watching Tyson gives me that nostalgia. I used to love. I haven't really gotten much into boxing since Tyson left. But when Tyson was fighting, I loved boxing because I love to see Tyson fight. And people complained about, the one punch knockouts. And I was like, that's what I'm here for. Just
I mean,
go ahead and put them out. And so, yeah, I'm going to be watching. And I hope to see, like a one punch knockout.
I don't think there's going to be any knockout. I think these things are just there for entertainment. I'm sure they have a bunch of clauses in there telling Tyson, look, if you hit this man in the face, you get no back. All right, if you knock this man out, you get no back. It's just like the Floyd Mayweather Jake Paul fight. Turned out there was a bunch of clauses in there. The Mike Tyson, when Mike Tyson was supposed to fight I can't remember who he was supposed to fight, but anyways, he ended up fighting. Roy Jones. And turns out in his clause there was a lot of clause in there to say, hey, you can't hit this man here. We'll see. I hope one can hope and not be as skeptic as I am, but I think we're going to see much of the same of the Floyd Mayweather Jake Paul stuff. So let's see. I'm going to catch the highlights.
You're on mute.
Okay, let's wrap it up for tonight. And thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for those who left comments. We did read those and respond or acknowledge that we read them. Thank you again for leaving the comments. Please leave comments tonight. We'll be coming back with you really soon with information about our brackets. Again, we're going to have great prizes for those brackets. So join us back here on Friday. We're going to give more information on the March Madness brackets coming up next week. Thanks and good night.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.